Computer. All right. Hey guys. So I'm going to answer the elite questions that you had. We talked a little bit, and I know all the faces on here were at our local that we had in Lebanon last Thursday. We talked a little bit about elite there. And that's when it kind of dawned on me that I bet there were a lot of questions that people had, including myself. I had a lot of curiosities of like, I wanted to dive in and learn a little bit more about it. So before I get to your questions, I will just start off by saying Thrive and Thrive Elite are two completely different products. Do they have similarities? Yes. But they have two very different purposes. And so please don't think that every customer has to switch from Thrive to Thrive Elite, because that's not the case. It's not like a better version of Thrive. It's not the newer version of Thrive. It is actually Thrive re-engineered for a different purpose. So as you'll find as we go through the PDFs and stuff together, the beauty of the weight loss product of Thrive Elite is that the company didn't lose sight of overall health, because a lot of weight loss products lose sight of overall health. So there's still the vitamins and minerals, there's still the amino acids, the digestive enzymes, all the stuff that a person is used to getting in their Thrive is in Thrive Elite. But there's a lot of stuff in Thrive Elite that is not in the regular Thrive. And every last one of those is geared towards weight loss, whether it be metabolism, inhibiting sugar uptake, inflammation, all kinds of stuff. And we're going to get into that. So, but I just wanted to make sure that you don't, as a promoter, ever feel like, okay, I've got to stop selling regular Thrive, or I've got to stop taking regular Thrive. Thrive Elite will not be for everyone. A, because not everyone's goal in life is to lose weight. B, not everyone needs to lose weight for the same reasons. So for example, if you have a person who is just snacking all the time, or not sleeping well, and that's why they're retaining body fat, they might just need regular Thrive to get their nutrition on point, to stop some of those regular cravings, and to start sleeping better so they can start feeling better, right? Like there's so many people who over the last 10 years have lost significant amounts of weight on regular Thrive because their issue was rectified by regular Thrive. And then there's a group of people who still need a little something extra, who maybe are heavier than, there's like the person who needs to lose 5 to 10 pounds. And then there's the person who needs to lose 50 to 100 pounds, right? Like there's a different body type there. There's a different makeup there. There's a different issue there. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to break down for you. Well, first, let me go to my questions. Hell, I don't know what I'm doing. I think before I hit record, but I'll say this now since we're all together, I'm going to be using my phone for the questions. I have printouts to go back to, and I also have screenshots on my phone. So there'll be a lot of back and forth. I'm going to do my best. Okay. So some of the general questions I'll go to first. So Charlotte had said they tell us to wear our DFT loud and proud, but their recommendation is to wear the Elite DFT on your hip, your thigh, your butt, your quad, your shoulder. I get the reasonings behind the why, but with it being winter, no one is going to see it. Also, it's a big DFT. I'm gonna move my hand that way. Here's the thing. When Le-Vel tells us to thrive out loud, like, wear our DFT loud and proud, that is a slogan / motto that has been in existence for over 10 years, or for the whole 10 years. So it's not just related to Thrive Elite. So yes, there are some issues as far as like some of the better places to wear your DFT, especially in regards to Elite versus the seasons. I will just say, as a promoter, I wear my DFT where it is most comfortable for me. If it doesn't show on a day-to-day basis, I don't worry about that. However, if like this one is covered today, if for some reason I was going to be doing like a Wi-Fi Well or a local, I would take a regular DFT and put it on my hand, right? Like I would just put it up there. It's just for show, right? I mean, we're selling something, I would be showing something. So if you're in the position where you're like, I want people to see my DFT, but I've got my Thrive Elite back here, consider cutting your DFT so that you have like maybe a little sliver that would be on your hand, enough to just catch someone's eye. Or if you've already got it on, like I said, you could just take the regular square. This sounds horrible, but the little regular squares to me are like candy. Like we got a bunch of them, we get them for free. Like I don't stress about throwing an extra one on my hand if I need to. But if you're a new promoter and you're like, she is crazy, I just spent all this money on Thrive Elite, then get yourself a pair of scissors, cut off a little bit, put the majority where you want it and the rest where someone can see it if you're wanting to use it as a conversation starter. I might have spent way more time on that question than I should have. Okay. Why does the new DFT leave so much more residue than other ones? I really want to talk about this because I see so often the wrong answer floating through Facebook and it drives me nuts. People love to say that when they peel off the DFT and they see all this stuff, that's detox. That is not what you are looking at, okay? Like, I need you to use your noggins here. Think of things in your life that when they get hot, they kind of melt or swell. So for example, a chocolate chip, that'll be the easiest example. If I put a chocolate chip on my hand for 2 minutes and take it off, there might be a little bit of a mark. If I put that chocolate chip on my hand and I cover it up and I wear it for 24 hours, when I go to take that off, that ingredient has expanded due to the heat and changed form. Okay, so all the vitamins and minerals, all the nutrition that you're finding on your DFTs, they're getting absorbed through your skin, but when they get the heat and the air and the friction of movement, they will sometimes leave a mark. And depending on which item it is, it's going to leave a different mark. So I'm going to read to you an exact support ticket that kind of explains this better, but just keep in mind my example I gave you. The residue from the absorption / permeation layer ingredients, which were added, are the L-arginine limonella, I think is how you say it, in aloe vera. You cannot see it on the DFT at the time it is applied to the skin because the particulate is small. However, body heat during wear causes it to expand, become visible, and that is why you see residue when the DFT is removed. So let's talk about two different kinds. There's that ring of residue that a person gets. That is when the DFT is on there and dirt is getting around it, and maybe it's under your shirt and your shirt is moving. So you get, like if I had like this one, by the end of the day, there'll be some little black probably around where like the fibers of my sweater have gotten attached to the edges. But then any of you that are using the Thrive Elite, when you pull it off, do you look black and blue? I look black and blue. I know not everyone, and here's the other thing too. My pH and your pH may be different. You may not get much black and blue. It's kind of like the black label, how people see a lot of red when they take it off. That's because the B vitamin in it is very red. So don't panic, but also don't spread misinformation. When you see that it is just the particulate reacting, yes, I will share that. Thank you. That is weird. You and I are both Tammy still. It just said that I asked myself that question and I was like, what? But now I see it. It's okay. It's fine. It's just funny. I was just confused, like how I was like, how did I just type myself a question? So yeah, so you're going to get different colors. And again, it's going to be because of the items actually in the DFT, but it's coming from the heat, the wear, all that jazz. Okay, let me go back to my questions. I said there really a lot of back and forth. Okay. All right. Trying to do these in an order that would make sense. Okay, I'm going to hit Carolyn's question here. She said, can we talk about losing inches? I'm terrible about getting on the scale every morning, which leaves me feeling very upset. Yes. Let me get an example. All right, you're going to hear people say this and it is incorrect. Muscle does not weigh more than fat. Okay? A pound is a pound is a pound is a pound. However, the density of the material that makes up that pound can be very different. Think in your mind a pound of brick and 1 pound of cotton balls. You're going to need a whole lot more cotton balls to get to that 1 pound, right? And not very much brick. It's the same thing when you think about your body fat. So body fat is fluffy, like the cotton balls, and then muscle is dense, like the brick, okay? You guys have all seen that on raw chicken or something. I don't want to be gross, but you know what I mean? You've all seen something dead and you've seen the fat part, the globby, white, fluffy, fat part, and then you've seen the lean muscle part. So when people are talking about body fat loss, anybody can lose weight, right? I can drop a ton of cotton balls and lose weight, but what's left is still a bunch of fluffy white cotton balls, right? Or you can get rid of all your cotton balls and just have the meat left. Does this make sense? I don't know if this is making sense, but basically what happens when somebody loses weight, if you are not eating enough, your body will prefer the cotton balls. Basically, your body will keep the fat and it'll start taking away some of your lean muscle mass. So the number on the scale might come down, but your body's not going to get any firmer or stronger. You're just going to stay fluffy. Whereas what we want to encourage and what Elite encourages it with a proper meal plan you will lose just the cotton balls and keep the muscle and actually add some muscle. So it's very easy for someone to, you could lose a pound of body fat, like a whole pound of your cotton balls, right? But then put on a pound of muscle. And so remember though, that pound of muscle is this big and those cotton balls are yay big. So your body shape will change even if the scale isn't moving. So it's really important when you're looking at overall health and wellness to take measurements or just see how your clothes are fitting. Are your clothes fitting differently? If they are, that's going to be your sign. So that's a long conversation basically, but there's a big difference between losing weight and losing body fat, and Thrive Elite is geared more towards helping someone lose body fat. So the rest of the questions were, well, okay, I got one here from Sonia that is a little different before we dive into the ingredients. It says, what is the difference between our detox and detoxing with Elite? Okay, so our 10-day detox is a heavy metals detox. So it is specifically made up, so that those morning capsules that you take, they are basically the hunters, if you will. They are nutritional items that bind to heavy metals in your bloodstream. So they go into the bloodstream, they get through the body, they find the heavy metals, they wrap themselves around it, and now they've got the heavy metal. Well, then at night, when you take the night capsules, which are balanced and biotic mixed together, it helps take that new combined thing, we'll call it, and it pushes it out of your body. Okay, so it is specifically in there looking for heavy metals. Now, why do people lose weight while they're doing the detox? Well, heavy metals result in a lot of inflammation. So by getting those out, you're going to lose water weight, inflammation weight. And also, it's 10 days of eating clean as a whistle as most of you have ever eaten in your life. So suddenly you got somebody not on sugar for 10 days, not on ice cream and chips and McDonald's, right? So there is a weight loss element to that. It is mainly designed, though, to get the heavy metals out to help with the inflammation. So that's a specific type of detoxification process. When you talk about Thrive Elite, or even just Thrive Detox to begin with, both of the items, both versions of Thrive, go into the gut, and they go into the gut. And so they actually start to clean out the gut. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the stories about, I think it was John Wayne, and I know for sure Elvis Presley, but like when they died, they had a ton of literal poop in them. It's because our bodies, if we're not supporting it, we can actually not get rid of all the goodies. So basically, a lot of times when the gut starts to heal, then we start to clean things out. We also start to detoxify. It's such a complex thing. So, okay, basically, the 10-day detox is heavy metals. Thrive or Thrive Elite Detox is just overall health detoxification. So your liver is detoxing all day long. Your kidneys are detoxing all day long. Your skin is detoxing all day long. The nutrition and the nutritional support just helps push it to a new level. So, when we sweat or we shed skin, which we do shed skin all day long, that's a form of detoxification. When you pee, that is a form of detoxification. And so like when people say, oh my gosh, now that I'm thriving, I'm drinking so much more water, I'm peeing so much more. Going through detox. And detox can be an uncomfortable process for the body, like as far as like what's happening inside. And so sometimes that's when people will say, I feel tired, my head hurts, my joints are achy. Like there's a process to it. It is an uncomfortable, it's like getting out of your comfort zone. And so people will actually feel that. And so it's okay, you get through it. I know we have several people on the team who detoxed originally. And I will tell you, I am on my third week of Elite, and the first 2 weeks have not been fun. Like it's not that I felt horrible, but I haven't felt like a thriver. So today is the first day I really felt like, okay, I feel good. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more like myself again. And again, that is something that I'm feeling because I know what it means to be a thriver. So when you take a thriver and they start on the Elite path, let them know that they may feel different at first because it is a different product. If you're taking somebody off of the street who's never done either one, they're probably not going to know. But everyone has the ability to detox. And here's the thing, even as a thriver, 8 years later almost, like over Christmas, when I lived it up a little too much with the sweets, I felt gross. So that's just, again, I felt gross, but I was thriving. So the thrive was getting the gross out. So you're going to ebb and flow. You're not always going to feel amazing, but you're always going to feel better than you did. Okay, so now I feel like the rest of these questions were pretty specific as far as, hey girl, why is it different? Why is this a weight loss thing? Like, Can I mix my regular with the existing, and what makes the stuff taste different? So what I want to do is just go through with you the 3 items that belong to Elite. I will address very quickly, and you guys can decide, because I'm going to give you all the facts, and then you can go from there. Thrive Elite has a lot of additional ingredients. So you're not going to look at Elite and find anything missing from your regular Thrive. It's all there. So as a matter of fact, like, so if you look at the capsules, original versus the new Elite, everything looks the same, right? Like everything is lining up. It was like, that looks really weird, but that's because that is the shake. Here's my, okay. So everything lines up, like the A, the D, the B12, the B, like all that stuff, it's exactly there. But when you go into the proprietary blend, everything that's in regular Thrive is there. However, in the capsule, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 additional ingredients. So when people say, can I mix and match? You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of this. However, I will tell you, by mixing and matching, you're going to be missing out on all the new stuff. So the one question I had in there was, could I still use my regular shakes while I'm using Thrive Elite? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 ingredients in the shake, the Elite shake, that are not in the regular, and all 5 of those are geared towards weight loss. So could you mix? Yes. Will you get the same results? Probably not. So that's just totally up to you. Because I know, I mean, I get it. Like, I have a bunch of regular Thrive at home too, but I would tell you, if you want to try Elite, try Elite. Go all in for a whole month, muddle through it, see what you can and can't, live without, and then decide. Because like I said, my first 2 weeks, I would have quit. I would have quit Thrive Elite probably on day 5, but I'm sticking with it. So anyway, let me dive into some of these. I'm just going to tell you the ingredients that are new, that are not new, but that are in Thrive Elite, that aren't present in Thrive, regular Thrive. So if you hear me say an ingredient, just know that it's new and fancy, or not new and fancy, but it's in Thrive Elite. So one ingredient you're going to see, it shows up in the capsule as well as the shake, is white kidney bean. And I'm just going to read to you because I don't want anyone to ever think that I made anything up. Okay. So not only does white kidney bean help with weight management, but when coupled with a healthy diet and exercise, it assists in fighting fat around the abdominal area. White kidney bean can also help support glucose metabolism, promote increased energy levels, and even support athletic performance. So that is in your new capsule as well as your new shake. So right there, if you're asking me if you can use your old shake, yes, but why would you want to miss out on that, right? So the thing that is super specific about this that I want to point out is that it is thought to, or is known to, help reduce the abdominal area. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, good, my belly. Well, here's why it's so important to not have belly fat. When you have belly fat, all of your organs are there. So you start to get what they call visceral fat, which means fat around your organs. And that can lead to, you name it, it can lead to it. Congestive heart failure, fatty liver disease. I mean, it's a bad place to have body fat. So that's one of the reasons the white kidney bean is so exciting to have in there. Okay, I got to move along because I'm being too talky. We all knew that would probably happen. All right, so Forsling. Forsling has been in our DFTs for a really long time, but guess where it shows up in Thrive Elite? It's in our capsule as well as our DFT. So Forsling it's basically, let me see if I have everyone. You guys know what a coleus is? Any of my plant people out there? Coleus, it's a shade-loving plant. So there is a plant called a Coleus forscohi. I forget. It's like from some, I think it's an African village. Anyway, it's an herb that they discovered that helps a lot with boosting testosterone, which, ladies, don't be afraid of that. It just means it's going to help rev up your metabolism, which will also help with fat loss. It can help support anti-inflammatory responses, which just, again, means like helping you with like the bloat, the excess water that we like to carry. So that is now showing up in 2 spots for us. The next thing that the capsule has is CLA. So CLA is known to boost metabolism. By increasing fat metabolism, the body is able to increase the amount of calories it is burning each day. So why is that important? If you're increasing the calories you're burning each day with no other changes, like you're literally burning more calories while you sleep, that's a bonus. I don't know about you, but I like to burn calories when I sleep. The next item you're going to find is dandelion root. So dandelion root tea has been around for ever. But the dandelion root, I think it shows up as an extract, yeah, in our capsules. It is thought to improve digestion and reduce fat absorption. So kind of think like treat meal, how treat meal helps you not absorb all the fat. It's similar to that, yet it's obviously a little bit different. The next one, some of these I'm just going to have to guess because I really don't know how to pronounce them all. Caralluma, I don't know. It is the most well-known potential benefit of this item is its appetite suppressing effects. And I can tell you, even as miserable as I felt the first couple weeks, I definitely noticed the appetite suppressing effect, which is amazing for me because I'm a snacker through and through. So if you're wondering where that's coming from, that is the Caralluma, I believe is how you pronounce it, and it is showing up in your capsule. The next new thing is the berberine, I don't know, HLC. It is not, this is so important. I want you guys to make sure you hear this. It is not a magic weight loss pill. However, it may help people with a body mass index over 30 pounds to lose. So this is that one where I was talking about, there are things in here specific to people who are considered obese. Now that's a hot topic because if you got 30 pounds of muscle mass on you, you definitely do not look obese in any way, shape, or form. But ideally, if you've got somebody who says, I need to lose 30 to 50 pounds, they're probably more on that side of things. 2 studies have shown that taking the supplement over a course of 3 months shows significant weight loss. So again, do not tell people that this is a magic pill. Do not tell people that this is just going to drop 30 pounds overnight. 3 solid months of consistent use is how your body will start to respond to that. So I thought that was really important to include. It is made of several plant compounds. Research suggests that it can also help treat diabetes, obesity, inflammation. However, it can cause upset stomach and nausea. I haven't dealt with that any. I got to get over the taste. We're getting to that. So just keep in mind though, if someone may say, oh, my stomach was a little upset, it could be legit. There could be something in there that their body just needs time to get used to. If you got somebody starting on Elite, I would encourage them to try a half. Like let's, treat them like a regular Thriver. Like don't overwhelm them. Okay, so the raspberry ketones, and I know this is a really hot topic. The ketones are in your capsule as well as in the new shake. I know people who are sensitive to the taste of raspberry. There are several people that say they can taste the raspberry. I don't taste raspberry, but I do know the shake tastes different. But let me explain to you why raspberry ketone is in there and why it is so important. Raspberry ketone stimulates metabolism in a similar way that capsaicin does. So if you've ever heard of like the hot pepper effect, like people would literally drink cayenne pepper for breakfast, like in a hot water or whatever to help boost their metabolism. The raspberry ketones help boost your metabolism. And I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure that released, like how the time released, I'm pretty sure that's the ketones are being time released in the capsule, not in the shake. I feel like the shake, it's open your digestion, it's got to go through. So the raspberry ketones are just boosting the metabolism, and they're super important for what we're trying to do here as far as weight loss goes. But it will make your shake taste a little different. And so I know I tried unsweet cocoa powder in my vanilla shake for a few, I don't know, maybe a week or so. And then we were just traveling and I was lazy. So I got used to the plain taste. But I know people have tried sugar-free syrups, cinnamon, mixing a boost with it, putting it in the blender with almond milk and all the things. So again, you still have the ability to make your shake how you want it. But just remember, if you're mixing it with something, like if you're like, I'm mixing it with chocolate milk and banana, well, this is a weight loss shake and you just put a ton of sugar in there. So think about what you're doing to cover the taste, but do know it is important. Okay, next is glucoman. It's not glucosamine, but it looks like it, but it's glucoman, maybe. Anyway, it works in the stomach and the intestines by absorbing water to form a bulky fiber. It helps to treat constipation. It is also known to slow the absorption of sugar and cholesterol in the gut, helping control sugar levels with people who have diabetes. Even if someone doesn't have diabetes, we all have blood sugar. We all have a response to sugar in our once we eat it and it gets in our body. So A, this is a bulking agent. So again, we're going back to gut health. We're cleaning out the gut. But B, it's also slowing down the absorption of sugar. You know, a lot of people got on this like fat-free kick years ago. So like gummy bears are fat-free, but they're full of sugar. And when you have excess sugar in your body responds and it will convert it into fat and store it for later. So it might have been fat-free going in, but it ain't fat-free coming out. So something like this will help slow down that process when you do treat yourself with something sweet. Okay, the next thing that's in our capsules is the cayenne fruit powder. So back to that capsaicin, that burning metabolism booster. So cayenne pepper has numerous nutrients that are good for your health. It's an antioxidant. It's full of A, B, C, and E, potassium, and manganese. It also, and this is the important part, improves heart health, promotes weight loss, improves digestion, improves blood sugar control, and strengthens immunity. So you'll see a reoccurring theme here of improving digestion, improving blood sugar control, and dropping body fat. So those are all the new ones for the capsules. So you can see right there, that's just new in the capsule. That's a lot of good stuff right there. So moving into the new shake mix, we've got the white kidney bean again. We have the raspberry ketones again. This time we're pulling in the Nepal cactus powder and, oops, lost it. And this is known to be used to help treat diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity, and hangovers, which I thought was funny. It's also touted as an antiviral, anti-inflammatory. This cactus contains C, EA, iron, calcium, and more. The wide range of nutrients can help your body reduce inflammation. It says research found after taking cactus extract after drinking 5 to 7 alcoholic drinks that their hangover was reduced. So I'm not exactly sure why or how that part works, but if that's important to you, that might be helpful. The next thing that is new is the microcrystalline cellulose. You guys, again, this is just a bulking agent, a dietary agent to help, again, clean everything out. Too much of it could lead to a laxative effect, but there's not too much of it in our stuff. And just a side note, it's actually a wood pulp. It's amazing. It's amazing what people come up with and think of how to do things. And then also there is that glucosamine again in the shake as well. Okay, so moving on now, when it comes to the DFTs, I'm comparing the Thrive Elite DFT to the Thrive 10-year anniversary because that was the closest thing to it that we had. That is the DFT that they had originally said was going to be the Elite, but they added a lot more to it. When you look at the 10-year and you look at the Thrive Elite, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's four ingredients in the Elite that are not present in the 10-year. So one of those is the Forsling 95. The other one had Forsling. I looked everywhere to try to find out the difference between the Forsling and the Forsling 95, and I can't find it on the internet. However, I do remember listening to Jason Camper talk about it, and the Forsling 95 is just a purer, stronger version. So that's super important. Whoops, I think I went too far. I might have gone too far in my notes. Okay. And then the other thing that is in here is the L-carnitine. It plays a critical role in energy production. This is going to sound really tricky and fancy. It transports your long-chain fatty acids into the mitochondria so they can be oxidized, which just means burned for energy. Basically, it just helps to decrease the amount of body fat on your body, like that your body is storing. And again, this is geared towards that visceral belly fat. So again, something very important because it does surround your organs and could potentially lead to fatty liver disease and other serious health conditions, which we talked about earlier. And then where is my note for this one? Oh, hang on, guys. Oh, I know where it is. I had a whole thing I had to pull up. Okay, so the ingredient that I had never heard of before, which you know that got me excited, is Gymnema. I don't know. You'll have to look. It's on the thing. It's Gymnema Sylvester. We'll call it like Stallone. Anyway, this is an exciting ingredient. Okay, there's actually 6 health benefits. First, just so you know, this is a woody climbing shrub that is native to the forests of India, Africa, and Australia. Again, our DFTs are plant-based items. Okay. Number 1, and probably the most important one, it reduces sugar cravings, making sweet foods taste less appealing. I have a sweet tooth. That's super important to me. Number 2, it helps lower blood sugar levels. Again, back to that blood sugar control. 3, may contribute to favorable insulin levels by increasing insulin production. So again, that's in regards to the blood sugar. It improves cholesterol, triglyceride levels. Again, talking about how our body's responding to our foods. It may aid in weight loss, which if it does all those other things that if it makes sweets not taste good, then you know it's good. And then it can help reduce inflammation due to tannin, which TANNIN, kind of like in wine. You hear that a lot. So that one ingredient in the DFT alone has 6 weight loss benefits. So Shazam, that's a really good one. And that is why that DFT is not cheap. So let me go back really quick because I think we're 2 minutes into Mario talking on the other Zoom. I'm sorry. Again, it's up to you. I just told you all the differences that are in Thrive Elite, why it is different, what makes it different. So if you look at me and say, I don't want to drink the shake, or I want to use my old DFTs, or I want to blah, 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 your life, your decision. Just know that all the things I just rattled off are not in the product that you're using if you're not using the Elite version. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying it's not going to be helpful for you. I mean, obviously the DFT has that one ingredient alone that's amazing. So you find what works for you and run with it. Just know if you don't use all 3 products at the same time at once, like the way it is designed to be, you might have slower results, right? So anyway, that's it. I hope this was helpful. I know that was a lot of information. I hope to never hear any of you repeat all of those things to anyone. That is just for our knowledge. That is just for you to refer to. And that was more of me because I'm a dork and I wanted to know all that, but also because I want you to understand how special, that's probably a weird word, but how special Thrive Elite really truly is. So when you have somebody who's looking at a significant weight loss goal, muy bueno. Anyway, bye.